Why do I put myself through all this pain of reviewing all these shit things? God damn it.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Alright guys, welcome back once again to Random Ramblings. It's me, Salmon, and today we're going to be talking about Assassin's Creed. Now, the previous episode I released of Random Ramblings was Is Call of Duty Dead? With capital Dead, right? I was talking about, has the Call of Duty franchise died since it was first released? Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, etc, etc. Has it been slowly dying? Has it been going down this spiral of death? And is it dead yet? And a few comments, a few opinions were released through the comments. Thank you guys for that, by the way. And it got me thinking, what else can I do? What else can I publish? What else can I release to get everybody back on this is a franchise dead train, right? And thanks to Abdullah, the moist guy, he recommended Assassin's Creed, which is actually a really good idea. I was going to do something completely different, but thanks to him, today we're going to be talking about is Assassin's Creed dead, right? That is what the topic is going to be for today. And we're just going to be running over some quick facts, some quick just backstory, and just normal, talking about the franchise, really. Alright, so let's get straight into this. I brought up the reception, the score that these games achieved when they came out. Right now I'm looking at Assassin's Creed 1, the first ever game that came out. Now, I'm going to be highlighting the biggest companies that reviewed them. Let's get started. GameSpot gave a 9 out of 10 for Assassin's Creed 1. Game Radar gave a 10 out of 10. IGN gave a 7.5 out of 10. And Eurogamer gave a 7 out of 10. Now, those are really good and respectable ratings for a game that was ambitious at its time. An Assassin's game set in the past, but also set in the future, or you go to the past, and it was fucking confusing. And, it's not a bad reception at all. People actually took it in quite well, and people actually accepted the game for what it was, and that was all great. But now, 2 years later, a game called Assassin's Creed 2 pops out. Of course, why not? It was a popular game, Assassin's Creed 1. So people, the designer said, let's fuck it up and let's just go make another game, right? And they did, and this was actually one of the best received games of its time. Let me read the scores out for you again. GamePro, 5 out of 5. GameSpot, 9 out of 10. GameSpy, 5 out of 5. Right? Games Radar, 10 out of 10. IGN, 9.2 out of 10. Team Xbox, 9.5 out of 10. This was a very, very, very well received game. People loved it, and it only took 2-year designing time. And for that, it was just amazing, right? And Ubisoft announced that it sold 1.6 million copies during its first week of sale, right? This was a 32% increase over the first week of retail from Assassin's Creed 1. So please think about this. People really enjoyed Assassin's Creed 1. Now we move on 3 years into the future, from 2009 to 2012, where Assassin's Creed 3 is released. Now, Assassin's Creed 3 was also released with very, very, very good ratings. In fact, better than Assassin's Creed 2. Game trailers, 9.2 out of 10. IGN, 8.5. So as you can see, it's slowly starting to go downwards, right? These scores are slowly starting to go down, even though this was one of the most acclaimed game of the series. This was one of the most loved and, out of the series. Joysticks gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Edge gave it an 8 out of 10. So as you can see, this is just slowly starting to spiral downwards. But the thing is, like I said, one of the most respected ones out of the series. Nomination for Game Awards, won awards for gaming. Felt like the best Assassin's Creed from many gamers and gamer reviewers. Metacritic gave it a really good rating. It was just generally positively reviewed by all the critics and all the gamers. But now when we move on to a game like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flags, this is where the franchise slowly starts to spiral downwards into the Call of Duty phase, like we talked about previously. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag receives critical acclaim upon release. The ratings, though high for some reason, I'm just looking at them. GameSpot 9 out of 10, Giant Bomb 4 out of 5, IGN 8.5 out of 10, PC Gamer 90% out of 100, the Ecliptist 5. I don't know. It got all these high reviews from these companies, but of course, reviews isn't everything, since the critics honestly did just slam it to the ground, roast the fuck out of it, and it just did not end up to be well. The graphics look downgraded compared to the previous games. No awards, no anything, especially with games like Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, all these games coming out looking beautifully, just amazing, stunning, breathtaking. And Assassin's Creed Black Flag, it was just waited to be this. Finally, there's a pirate game coming out, and they just kind of butchered it, and they didn't really end up making it, I don't know. And people kept on saying there was no improvement over Assassin's Creed 3, and Assassin's Creed 3 was always just, out there, and it was just better, so if there's no point. Of course, like I said, this did not stop people from actually going out and buying the game before they realized what the game actually was. During the first week of sales, it beat Battlefield 4. This game beat Call of Duty Ghost almost, and it sold 11 million copies. Of course, after the first week of sales, it dropped 60% compared to Assassin's Creed 3, right? Sales dropped 60% because, like I said, people started to realize what it was, and, it really wasn't the game everybody expected. It just didn't get out there for some reason. Even though, like I said, getting high scores from IGN and Game Radar and GameSpot, it even got a Game of the Year nomination, which, of course, did not go through. Like I said, this was the part where Assassin's Creed just started to go downwards. And now I'm going to quickly just finish this off because I can't take this shit anymore. Oh my god, I'm looking at these stats and these reviews, and Assassin's Creed Unity. This is the point where Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft, and everybody working on the game started to get very impatient. They started to release the game once every year, like Call of Duty started to do. Every year we started getting a game now. And Assassin's Creed Unity came along. Looking at the scores again, they got very good to average scores. Eurogamer 7 out of 10, Game Informer 8 out of 10, IGN 7.8 out of 10, which is the lowest out of them all, but still 7.8 is a really good rating from people like IGN. PC Gamer actually went out a bit real and said 65 out of 100 and laid the truth a bit, but still. And it got such a critical response. I'm not even going to get into it. Graphical fails, patches that weren't released, endless errors, console errors, PC errors. Just the constant fuck up of this game made it so horrible that nobody actually bothered with it. I'm sorry, but I just... What the fuck is this shit? It says, as of December 31st, 2014, Ubisoft has shipped a combined of 10 million copies of Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Rogue. This is two games combined. So 5 million copies of each, let's say. That is shit, because the first week of sales for a game like Assassin's Creed 2 got 16 million copies sold. And this is where Ubisoft needs to accept the fact that it's going down. And people are like, oh, but Assassin's Creed Syndicate is going to be the new Uprising and it's going to fix the thing up. It's not. It really isn't. Maybe it might be decent, but it's never going to revive this. I'm done, guys. It's been your guy, Samed, and I can't take this shit anymore. I'm sorry. Just later, like, subscribe, and my mind is fucked. I'm sorry.